Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel The Growing Developer, and I'm back here with yet another video. And I know it's been a long time since I uploaded the last video, so to make up with all the delay, I here present you an audio player application where you can play the audio from the internet and manage the audio as well. You can see if I click on play, the icon changes. I can play the audio, I can seek the audio. So everything I'm gonna explain you here only. Don't you need not to go here and there for the stuff here. Okay, any concept you want, you can always put it in the comment section. Without wasting any of the time, we'll start. And to get to know about this UI, this is the part. There is a part one where I completely like build this UI from scratch. You can watch this. The link will be in the description as well as in the info card. And what all do we need for this? So yeah, let's see, what do we need. We need two packages. Okay, so first one is the audio player package, the second one is the provider package. Provider, I know many of you might think that, oh cool, provider is so hard to learn. What is provider, what is state management? Each and everything I have explained you in two videos, right? I tried my best to keep it slow for you to grasp the concepts, and I'm sure you'll be able to grasp the concept of provider from that videos. All the video links that I mentioned in this video are in the description descriptions, right? So go ahead and check it out. So yep, let's first separately understand what this audio players package will do, right? Then we will embed that concepts and implement those concepts in this UI. So practically implementing into the real world application, that's what we do here. So without wasting any time, let's move.
The Growing Developer.
Okay, so phase one, we will understand how actually we can play audio files on our Flutter application and what all plugins do we need and all that stuff, right? So first of all, I would like you all to have a look on this my pubspec.yaml file, and you have this audio players plugin that I have installed it. And if you go to the pub.dev packages, and you can see that this is the package that we are using. It is audio players. We already have one package known as audio player without this S, but this is regularly updated, and you can see here pub points as 100. So we definitely want to follow that package, right? So on the installing, you can see that this is how we can install the plugin. That's a normal way we install any plugin. It also have the example here, but instead of looking into that example, I would like to show you how it is actually done and what all these lines mean. So you can see that this is plain simple Flutter application that we all get whenever we make a new Flutter project. And this data is pretty new to this application, that is map audio data. This is, I have a map which has an image parameter known as this. Now this image is from my server, the growingdeveloper.org website, and then you have this audio file that is quietime.mp3. So we'll be playing this file from the server basically. And yeah, let's start with the server. Normally in most of the application we play files from the server rather than our local storage. So what I'm gonna do, I will let's remove all of this. I don't want this. So I'm gonna remove everything from here, right? That's how what we actually do, right? Yeah, right. So run app will quickly create a stateless widget known as run app, known as my app, sorry. Next, inside that I will just return a material app, right? And then in the home parameter you can return anything. I will like to have another class for it, a stateful class. Why am I creating a stateful class? Because see, understand this, that we might be needing to change the duration. The duration changes each second, the position of the duration where our track is. So we should have a stateful widget. Okay, and the home parameter, I will continue with the home page. Simple. That is pretty simple, straightforward stuff. Next, that's a simple. What I want is, I'm just giving you a simple blank application with a blank app bar, nothing much, but yeah, here. So I'll save it. It might give errors. No, fine. Okay, so in the body, I'll use a center and a column, right? In the column, as a children, I'm gonna pass a button, a flat button, which obviously right now does nothing. And inside it, I'll use something like play the audio, right? Simple. We have the button here, which is play the audio right now. Okay, fine. To add bit of color to it, let me add, what do you suggest? Blue only, let's stick with blue. Okay, so we have the button which says play the audio, right? We'll be playing the audio, and let's create another button which will say pause the audio. As I told you, we'll be covering all the aspects of the audio. We'll be playing, pausing, and stop as well. Okay, so stop the audio. Okay, so fine, we have done with the buttons. Let's go like this. Yeah, so we have 3 buttons. Let me change the color just for making it look differently. Orange and green, maybe a lighter shade of green. Okay, so yeah, okay, makes sense. The next thing, what to do to initialize a player. Basically, we should be initializing the player so that we have the player ready, right? So for that, we have to import the audio player plugin. So we will quickly write import audio players dot dart, right? So I have the audio players dot dart package here, and I'll create a method known as init audio. You can name it anything. So this code should be run the first time we run our application, so that our player is ready to play whatever URL you pass it on, right? So next thing, we have to create a object, obviously, equals to audio player. Okay, so here I created an object. What all is needed to be able to play the audio? Okay, well, let me tell you, to play the audio, you simply just do like this. Simple as that. You are able to play the audio just like that, right? It's that simple, basically. Nothing else. But you cannot keep track of duration, you cannot keep track of positions, cannot stop and all that stuff. So what should be done here? Let's just try with passing the URL first. So in the audio data, in the URL field, okay, without causing any of the complexities to you, let me do one thing. I'll just copy the URL of the file and paste it here. Simple as that. Normal thing. Init audio. Right now I'm not doing anything. Pause audio. In the pause audio method, I'll write audio player dot pause, right? Next, let's have the stop audio. Okay, so audio player dot stop. Now these are basic functionality that we have. Okay, so we have created the 3 methods, and now let's bind our methods or these buttons with the method, right? So for playing the audio, I have the init audio method. For pausing, I have the pause audio button, and then for stopping, I have the stop audio button, right? Makes sense. Let's save this all, right? And now let's try it. I'll click on the play audio button, wait for a minute, and let me increase the voice. Right? I hope you're able to hear the audio. Let's pause it. It paused. Let's play it again. We resume it from where we left, right? Again pause it. Play it. Then finally you can stop it. Okay, so now this was all actually the basic controls of the audio player. Now let's understand how we can actually get the duration, how we can actually get the position of the audio, and how we can seek the values basically, right? Okay, for that I will create some variables known as total duration, right? Then another variable would be position. Make sense? Now we will see what is the total position of the audio player, what is the total duration of the audio player, right? So in here, before this I'll use some text, right? In here I can write what I can say, total duration dot toString. Simple. I'm just displaying the total duration. Let's save it. So you can see it is null. Why? Because we have not yet started the audio and the total duration is still not updated at any cost, right? So when we int audio, what we want to do is that when we play the audio, I will set the total duration as audio player dot duration. Do we have? No. Okay, we have that get duration. So it returns an integer, still not what we want. Okay, so the duration expect and the position expect is something that is bound to change by time. Okay, so we should be keep listening to any of the changes in the position and the duration basically. So what we do, we write on duration changed and then we will listen, right? Make sense? Present duration, we'll remove it. So what is happening here? Audio player dot on duration change, that is whenever there is a change in the duration I'm listening to it. So present duration, that is whatever duration it is giving, I will rather name it as updated duration. Okay, so it should be like duration equals to updated duration. Let's just move it into set state, right? Makes sense. Cut it and paste it here. So now what is happening? Whenever we are initializing the audio, we are setting a listener on the duration. Are you getting it? Why I said that this should be called only once? Because we should always set a listener once and it will keep on listening to any of the duration changes. Next, we should also listen to the position, that is right now where our track has reached. So it should be audio player dot on position changed, that is whenever there is a change in position, that is when we are playing our audio file we change the position, right? 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, and similarly we will also listen to it, and instead of this event I will name it as position, right? So our position variable here, this position variable should be updated here. So let me change it to updated position, right? So the position here changes to updated position each time there is a change in the position. So we'll set state and put it inside that. Set state is just for updating the UI. Okay, makes sense, I guess. I hope this much is clear. Now instead of this playing a URL here, I will make another method, name it as play audio, and paste it here. As simple as that. Okay, so now we have 4 methods. One is play audio, pause audio, stop audio, and in the init audio section we are setting our listeners, that is audio player, that whenever there is a change in the duration I am updating the total duration to the updated duration. Basically for a track the duration doesn't change. It is pretty much straightforward that if a track is 4 minutes and suppose 35 seconds in length, it will be that length only. but the position changes each second, each milliseconds, so we have to keep on updating the position. Next, on press of it, I don't want to init the audio, I'll rather play audio. Okay, makes sense. And I'll just copy it, and in here it should be position. Okay, now tell me one thing. Let me restart this application for you so that you can see whatever we are writing here. Okay, so nothing else. We have the total duration set to string, we have the position set to string. This should update. This is right now null. Why? Because the audio player has not yet initiated, and next we have not yet started to play the audio. Next thing, now you can see that init audio is still not called anywhere. On press of this play the audio, I'm playing the audio. On press of this pause the audio, I'm pausing the audio, and I'm stopping the audio. I'm not setting any listeners to it. So when should I set them? As explained earlier, this should be called only once, and the first thing, so I'll use init state, right? So void init state, this is an override, right? Simple. And we have to call the super.init state. Basically with your snippet you normally get it directly, and now here I will write init audio. Makes sense, right? Let's restart this application once again so that the event listeners are now attached to the service. Let's see if I play the audio. Now you can see the moment I start to play the audio, you can see that this is the position text which is changing, and this is the total duration. Let me increase the size a bit. So here it is. Okay, so this is the position, this is the duration, total duration here. Okay, I want you to see one more thing, how we are gonna manage to extract the useful information. That's why I wanted to make this video. Basically, this is the total duration, and this dot is the milliseconds. We do not care about this milliseconds. First thing, we only want this much, the first timings, right? So what we can do, how to replace everything after the string or after this dot, basically, right? So what I will do, just see, toString method changes to string, then we have the split method. Okay, I will split it into two halves based on this dot. So now this will split this into this part, and then after the dot part will replace the dot, and then dot first will give me the first thing that I get after the before the dot, right? Let's save this. So now you can see that I have this duration and not this. Let me just pause the audio. Okay, now next thing, similarly with this, first I will split it. Pattern should be the dot, that is based on this dot. I'll split it in two halves, first half and the second half. I want the first half, so dot first. So now let me just again play the audio, and you can see that the position is now perfect. Okay, hope this makes sense, right? And hope you are able to understand that this is the phase one, how this audio will work, how we'll get the, like, I'll pause it, I'll play it. Okay, now let's understand how we can listen to the state changes, that is whether our audio is playing or is being stopped or is paused, right? So let's see, we have a string variable known as audio state. Now what I'm going to do, after this I have this audio player dot on player state changed. I'm going to listen to it. Okay, so this gives me in return an enum. Okay, basically it gives me in return an enum. So I'll write if player state equal audio player state dot stopped, right? Then my state audio state should be equals to stopped, right? If player state equal audio player state dot link, then my audio state should be something like link, right? Similarly, if player state equal audio player state dot paused, right? So you have all the events, all the states, right? Then you say audio state equal not equal, yeah, paused, right? Now you have it done, and of course you have to set state to update the UI. So again, I'm going to restart this application, and I missed something. Yes, I'll just copy it down here, and instead of this I'll write audio state dot to string, right? Let's save it. So I have 3 nulls here. Let's play the audio. So it has started playing, it says playing. I pause the audio, it says paused. I stop the audio, it says stopped, right? Now one thing that you have to see, that once it is stopped, we have to change the duration back to 0, right? So you can do it very easily. You can put it like, if it is stopped, then you will change all the duration back to 0. That's how we basically do the audio player thing. Hope you're able to understand this phase 1, right? Why I didn't implemented it first in the UI, just separately, I want you to understand the concepts of this audio player, how it is actually working. Okay, let me show you one more thing. If I play it, if I press this home button, the audio keeps on playing, so you get the background music that you want. Okay, yes, let's come back here, and you can pause it and stop it, whatever you want. Okay, so let's move on to the next phase, where we're gonna implement this and add it to the UI basically, right? So okay, so let's move forward with this application here, and yeah, see what I have done here. Nothing. We have the same sort of audio data here, and the double slider value as2, which was set here. Now understand one thing, that this application, this UI part is in the part 1. The link is in the description, as I mentioned earlier as well, so you should see that, so that you can understand what is the structure, the basic structure of this application. To give you a brief overview, we have a column, and first we have the navigation bar, which have a row, this icon here. Then we have the list view builder, basically for these images, the album art. And then we have this text, the description basically, and then we have the slider. So you can see that there are different components, and these components are separately independent of each other basically. Then we have the player controls, and let's move on to the player controls. Inside the player control, I have this play control button, and then these are similar sort of things. Okay, so nothing happens right now. Whenever I'm clicking this button, nothing is happening basically. So how we can implement the audio player package here, and we will need provider. Here is a provider. If you don't know about provider, and if you think that provider is not your type, well, it's a myth. Provider is very easy. I tried my best to explain it to the easiest stuff to you. It is available on my YouTube channel. The links will be in the description, as well as in the info section right here, the info card. So go through that and check it. In half an hour or in 1 hour, you'll be good to go and be able to make your own music player. Okay, so let's understand how we're going to use this provider. Okay, so one thing that you need to understand is that this player controls is different, is in different class, and then inside that I have the player control. So I cannot send the data using the constructors here, right? That's not what we want. And because this button is completely different and this slider is completely different, we should have the thing like, we should have the state management procedure for it. Okay, so that's why I'm using provider. You can use the getx, as I've mentioned. The getx is a new library that I'm using, and I'm pretty much like okay with it. So you can also watch the videos on GetX as well. So without wasting any time, let's move forward for pretty fast, right? So here I have this map audio data. Now one thing, whenever we are using a provider, I should create a model. So I have a directory known as model. Inside that, I'm gonna create a new file. So new dot file, name it as my audio. Okay, inside this my audio, I'll create a class. Let me just increase the size. My audio, which should extend change notifier, right? Here we are using material dot package. Yes, let's move forward. Now same thing, we should have something like init audio. Okay, now one thing that I want you to understand, that whenever we are initializing audio in the stateful widget, we call it inside the init state. So what gets called whenever we are instantiating a class? It's constructor, right? So let's create a constructor here. My audio. Okay, so this is a constructor. If you want to know about these object-oriented programming stuff, all of that, I have a Java video that will help you to understand this object-oriented programming approach. So this is a constructor. Basically any function that is with the name of the class is known as constructor, and it gets automatically called at first. Pretty basic stuff, right? So in here I'll just call the init audio. That's it. Init audio doesn't have anything right now. So you want me to rewrite the code, or we can simply copy the code here that we have written, right? It's like more efficient, I guess. Yes, so I'll copy it. Okay, and let's paste it here. Done. It says set state. We don't want the set state. Okay, tell me what should we have instead of the set state? Okay. We'll probably get into that, but I want you to like know this. Tell me. So let's import the audio player package, and we should have something like audio player equals to audio player. That's it. Most of the errors are gone. What is left? The set state I don't want. Okay, now here set state is used to update the UI, but this is a change notifier provider. So what method is called instead of set state to notify the listeners, to notify the UI? Yeah, I just said the name here. We call the notify listeners, right? So yes, let's quickly create the variables first. Duration, total duration, then we have the duration position, right? Then we have the string player state. Yeah, right. Okay, so what is this? Audio state, sorry. Right. So yeah, that's done. Basic thing. Init audio on duration change, we have attached the listeners, but we have to call notify listeners. What does notify listeners do? It updates the listeners, the consumers, and the UI basically about any changes. Just the same as set state, but inside a different module, a modular approach. If you want to know about notify listeners, go and watch the video of the change notifier provider. Every link is in the description. I want you all to watch these videos and get started, because these are very important aspects in the industry right now. So yep, notify listeners again. So on each listeners here, I have to notify them, right? So again, I'll just write notify listeners. That's it. Okay, big done, everything. I've initialized the audio. Whenever I will create this, the init audio will be called. Next, we have to play, pause, and stop the audio. So let's copy this and simply paste it here. So we have the stop audio, we have the play audio, and the pause audio button or functions ready. Let's go to main.dart, and here in the home page, right? I'm gonna wrap it up with a widget known as change notifier provider, right? And instead of this child, okay, child is fine, I have the create method. So it takes up the context and we'll just pass our, what was it, my audio, right? My audio, yes. Let's restart this application and see if there are any errors and exceptions. So no errors, exceptions, everything is fine, right? So now we can listen to any of the changes to this audio package or audio class using the consumers. Okay, let's move forward. First we will go to this player controls and this play control, right? Okay, so what is happening? This is the button that I have in the container, right? I have wrapped it with a gesture detector, and on top of it, first I have to wrap this gesture detector with another widget known as consumer, and I have to give what to listen. So I'll write my audio. Okay, import the provider package. So now it will keep on listening to any changes in this model, in the my audio model, and we have the builder method. The parameter takes up the context, then it takes up the model, which will be my audio model, and then the child, right? I'll just return this from here. Okay, right, makes sense. Now let's move forward. Yes, on top of it, what I'm gonna do, my audio model dot play audio, simple as that. Okay, let's see. I'll save it and I'll click on it. After some time, you can, I hope you can hear the audio, you can listen to the audio, right? Instead of this play audio, I can now write pause audio, save it, and click on it to pause the audio. Okay, now you can see that the icon is not changing, right? So let's go down here. I have the play arrow. What I'm gonna do, I'll write if my audio model dot, not audio player, it should be audio state equal playing. If it is playing, then it should be icons dot pause. So it makes sense that if I am playing the audio, it should change to pause. Let's save it. Okay, let's try it again, and this time instead of this pause audio, let's change it back to play audio. Let's check now. Wow, it changed to the pause icon, right? Now let me change it to pause audio, right? Press it and it changes to play. Now on tab method should also change, so it should be my audio model if the audio state equal playing, that is if I am playing, then it should pause the audio, otherwise it should play the audio. Make sense? If it is playing, then I should pause it. If it is not playing, then I should play it, right? So let's see how it works. I can play it, I can pause it, play it, pause it, and it is actually changing. Next part is the slider, the main thing that you might be here to see how we manage it, right? So in the main.dart file, I have the slider here. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna wrap this slider theme, or basically this slider, again with a consumer because I want to listen to the changes here, right? So here it should be my audio, and it takes up the builder parameter, right? want to turn it. My audio model, this is your defined name, you can give any name here, right? Yes. So what should be the value here? Understand this. If my audio model dot position equal null, that is, if I have yet not started playing the audio, then it should be 0. I should have the slider here. Otherwise, if it is not 0, that is, if my audio has started playing, it should be my audio model dot position. Now this is the duration. The best way to get the total duration is in milliseconds. I change it to milliseconds, and that's it, right? That's my value, the present value when my audio will be starting to write, what I can say, when my audio will start to play. Maximum value, now you know it, you can guess it. What is the maximum value that the slider can have? The maximum duration of the track, right? So I'll paste it. So instead of this position, I'll have the duration, total duration. Okay, now understand one thing, the maximum value should not be 0, it should be greater than the minimum value. So I keep it at 20. That is, if the total duration is null, then let it be 20. Otherwise, it should be the total duration in milliseconds. Hope you're able to get it, right? Okay, let's save this. There's, where are, okay, so we have the 2 commas here. Type int is not a subtype of double. Okay, why are you causing the problem, man? So let's change it to double and change this to double, right? So now the error is gone. Basically the value, the minimum and the maximum value takes up the double values. That's why we have to change it to double. Let's play it. Now you can see that the slider is slowly moving, right? You can see here, goes here, move to here. So it is moving according to the position. That is, the current value is whatever position I have. Then I have the total duration that is still here. So half the track will be played, and that's it. Our slider is moving. Now what we want is that when I'm moving this slider, the position should change. I should be able to seek to the audio. Now this is something that you should understand. Let's see. On change, it will give me the value. What is this value? This value will be the position. It will be in the duration only. Okay, so we can write my audio model dot seek. Oh, we haven't created the method yet. So let's go to our my audio, and here I will have the method known as seek audio. Okay, this will take up the duration. Okay, duration to seek. So I will use the model audio player dot seek and the position duration to seek. Simple as that. It will automatically seek to the position. Okay, so in here, okay, one more thing. Yeah, let's first move. Let's see. Player control, where is the slider? It's here, yes. Dot, now we have the seek audio method, and the duration to seek, I can pass the value. Okay, it gives me the error. This value is in double. Okay, so I should use something like duration. Okay, an object of duration, and this value is in milliseconds, so I should pass the milliseconds value. So value dot to int, right? It takes up an integer value. Let's save it again now. Okay, let's see. I'm playing it. If I change it, I'm able to seek it. You can see it's working perfectly well. Okay, now the last part is the duration. To display the duration and the position, we have already We have already discussed about it in the previous phase where I was explaining about the audio plate. You can embed it anywhere. You can pass the durations here. It's about your placing. You can place it anywhere you want. Okay. Yeah, so that's all about the video. Hope you like this video. Hope you enjoy this video. Yeah, it's been very long time. I was very busy. Now I'm pretty much free. So I'll try to upload the videos every second day to make up for all the delay. And yes, any ideas you can always put it in the comment section. I read each and every comment. Okay, I read each and every comment and each and every email that you send to me. Thank you all for appreciating me on the email and the social platforms as well. So yeah, there might be a delay, but I will surely read all the comments and all the emails that you send me. So thank you all for watching this video. Hope you like this video, and yeah, stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you. Goodbye.